Most people waste years in the gym and never make real progress. They show up, do workouts, and follow the same generic advice, but months, even years later, they still look the same. Meanwhile, there's a handful of guys and girls who seem to be leaps ahead of everyone else. Maybe they've only been training a year or two, yet their results are on another level. So you start wondering, are they just built differently? Are they taking something? Why am I stuck while they keep improving? I used to think the same thing, but then I figured it out. If you apply what I'm about to teach you, you'll be ahead of 99% of people in the gym within 6 to 12 months. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, just things that actually make a difference. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Adam and I've been lifting for over 20 years. For the past decade, I've obsessed over fitness and nutrition, reading the books, digging into the research and testing everything firsthand. I'm a certified performance nutritionist, an online coach, and last year, I even stepped on stage for my first ever physique show and placed 4th. More importantly, I've spent the last 10 years helping men and women lose fat, build muscle, and create no BS sustainable nutrition and training programs that actually fit their lives. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate you. Now let's get into it. When I first started my fitness journey, I did what most people do. I set a goal, lose fat. And for a while, I was all in. Strict meal plans, intense workouts, pushing through no matter what. But the second life threw a curveball, work stress, bad days, low motivation, I fell off track because fitness was something I was just doing, not who I was. And that's why most people struggle. They chase outcomes instead of becoming the kind of person who achieves them. James Clear put it best. Your identity is not set in stone. You have a choice in every moment. Research actually backs this up. People who keep their weight off long term don't just follow a diet, they reinvent themselves. So instead of saying, I need to lose weight, start thinking, I am someone who lifts 3 times a week. I am someone who walks 10,000 steps a day. And then prove it to yourself with small wins. Let me talk you through how to apply this. Identity. I am someone who trains 3 times a week. Then prove it. Buy dumbbells or join a gym, set a schedule and start with a 15-minute session. Let's say you want to move more. Identity. I am someone who walks 10,000 steps a day. Prove it. Track your steps. Start with a 10-minute walk. Build up over time. Most people chase goals. The successful ones become the type of person who naturally achieves them. Motivation fades, goals have endpoints. Your identity, that's forever. And when fitness becomes part of who you are, staying on track isn't something you just do. It's just what you do. That's one way to separate yourself from 99% of people in the gym. The next step can drastically transform your results. When I learned how to do it, it also made me a lot happier. When I first started training, I thought the results would come fast, like really fast, because why wouldn't they? We live in a world where you can order food with a single tap. You can binge an entire TV series in a day. We are surrounded by instant gratification. Scroll through social media and it's full of just highlight reels of shredded physiques and insane transformations. Meanwhile, you hit the gym for a whole month, you train hard, eat right, and look in a mirror expecting magic. But what do you see? Pretty much the same person staring back at you. And that's why most people give up. Because in fitness, nothing happens instantly. If you want to be ahead of 99% of people in the gym, you need to rewire your mindset. One workout won't change you. 10 workouts won't change you. Even 50 workouts won't change you, but hundreds of workouts over time, that's when you start seeing the difference. Yes, you'll get small wins along the way, your arms will fill out, your body fat will drop, your definition will start showing. But if you want to transform, you need to commit to the long game. As cliche as it sounds, fitness is a marathon, not a sprint. It's like slow roasting a steak instead of microwaving a frozen dinner. Sure, both will fill you up, but one of them is actually worth the wait. And in the next step, we're talking about consistency, because that's what separates the people who succeed from the people who quit. But first, if you're getting value from this video, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Your support really helps this channel grow. Nobody brags about being consistent. No one flexes on Instagram about showing up when they didn't feel like it. No one posts before and after photos of the thousands of small, boring decisions that actually made a difference. But here's the thing, that's exactly what separates the people who succeed from the ones who keep starting over. Because motivation, it's flaky at best, it'll hype you up one day and ghost you the next. And results, they take longer than anyone wants to admit. So how do you actually stay consistent when life keeps getting in the way? Because it will. Work stress, family obligations, a bad night's sleep that somehow ruins an entire day. One missed session turns into 2, then 3. Suddenly you're telling yourself, I'll start fresh next week, which is just code for I'll repeat this cycle forever. That stops today, because there's a simple way to break this pattern for good. The issue is that most people think being consistent just means trying harder. It's not. It's about having a system that removes the need for motivation altogether. That means a workout schedule, not just when you feel like it. A nutrition plan, not just eating healthy when it's convenient. A clear, when I say clear, I mean clear why. Because showing up gets a lot easier when you know why you're doing it and who else benefits from your success. To get clear on your why, I like to ask myself the following questions. Who else is impacted when you're at your best? Your kids, your partner, your parents. Who else benefits when you're stronger, healthier, and happier? A few years ago, I decided I was going to be that person who trains first thing in the morning, 5 days a week. Why? Because before that, I was all over the place. Some days I would train in the afternoon, some days I trained at night, some days I didn't train at all. And guess what? My results were just as consistent as my routine. So I made a decision. Mornings, no matter what. Now, I don't even think about it. I wake up, I train, and it's done before the day even starts. The key, not to copy my routine, but to find a structure that fits your life. Because if your plan is random, so are your results. Let's apply this when it comes to YouTube. I was wildly inconsistent with my YouTube videos, as some of you might know. I've been posting for 8 years on this channel, and before that, I had another channel. I started 3 years before that, so a total of 11 years. For most of that time, I was inconsistent. 6 months ago, I decided that I'm gonna be consistent. One video every single week, no exceptions. And not just that, I told myself I'd reflect on every video and improve something each time. Since then, I've gained 4,500 subscribers in just 6 months. That's more progress in half a year than the previous 10.5 years. Why? Because I finally built a system. Now, I want you to write down your why. Keep it somewhere you can see it every day. Go deep. Ask yourself why 5 times. Build a structure that fits your life, not one that forces you to rely on willpower. Ask yourself, what will you do to make your program easier to stick to? Then commit to showing up, even on the days you don't feel like it. Because if you do, you'll be ahead of 99% of people in the gym and in life. The next one is gonna save you a lot of time. And it's something I wish I did sooner. When I got down to 5% body fat, I lost count on how many people asked me, what's your secret? And honestly, I wish I had one, but I don't. I was just doing the fundamentals really well. Nothing flashy, nothing extreme. Eating in a sufficient calorie deficit, following a progressive resistance training program that meant I got stronger every week, or at least maintained my strength. Getting 10 to 15,000 steps a day, eating enough protein, focusing on nutritious whole food, trying to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, tracking my progress and pivoting when necessary. That's it. No gimmicks, no shortcuts, no magic tricks. And the funny thing, that's exactly why it worked. Most people aren't looking for what works. They're looking for what works faster. The shredded in 30 days programs, the quick hacks and fixes, the magic diet that melts fat overnight. And they all fail because they ignore one truth about fitness that never changes. Results come from doing the right things consistently over time. When I was dieting down to 5% body fat, I knew my deficit wasn't forever. It was just a phase of a bigger plan. Once I hit my goal, the next phase started, maintenance, then bulking. And if you're cutting right now, your next phase might be maintenance too. But here's the real win. By sticking to the fundamentals, you've built the skills that make this a lifestyle, not just a temporary effort. It becomes easier every single time. Look, we're all human, and at some point you will question why you're even doing this. Because let's be real, it's easier to sit on the couch and binge watch a series than to actually go to the gym, until one day it isn't. Because fitness stops feeling like a chore and starts feeling like a challenge. It teaches you to show up even when you don't feel like it. It forces you to level up in every area of your life. Every time you push through a hard session, every time you train when you're tired, every time you show up when you don't feel like it, you're becoming the kind of person who follows through and succeeds, not just in the gym, in everything. So now, just to recap, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not genetics. It's not some secret hack. It's this: reshaping your identity, seeing yourself as the person who does this no matter what. Delaying gratification, playing the long game instead of chasing quick fixes. Staying consistent even when motivation is nowhere to be found. Leaning on the fundamentals because they never stop working. Master these and you'll be ahead of 99% of people in the gym and in life within 6 months. And in 12 months, people will be asking you, what are you taking? But here's the real question. Are you willing to do what most people won't? Because that's the difference. If this video gave you value, drop a comment below and let me know what's the biggest thing holding you back from making real progress. Or if you have any questions at all, ask away. I read every comment and reply to most. If you're serious about getting results and want one-to-one coaching by me, a structured plan, and daily accountability to keep you on track, hit the link in the description and apply today. No guesswork, no wasted time, just a clear path to your goal, if you're ready to put in the work. Thanks for watching. It really means a lot to me, and I appreciate every single one of you. Have the best day ever, and we'll talk soon.